And we're back. Our next segment is gonna be involving one Jeffrey Epstein.
I've never heard of him.
You lying bastard. Recently, it was that the Attorney General's office put out a memo saying that there will be no future charges, and basically that the case is closed. Now,
there is no client list.
And there's no client list. There's no anything. Basically, they said they have a bunch of child pornography videos that they're never going to release.
Which why would
and
you
there's
want
nothing
Which they
else.
wouldn't, right?
Right? No, of course, obviously. But I've been gaslighted for months about Jeffrey Epstein and his client list and who was there, and there's more prosecutions to come, and none of it came to fruition. Now, I haven't criticized a lot of what Trump's administration has done so far, because I kind of agree with almost everything they've done. I would like it fine-tuned a little bit, but I agree with everything they've done so far. Personally, these guys may have a different opinion. But as far as this goes, this kind of pisses me off. Don't gaslight me for months and months and then say, oh, nothing to see here. There's three people in particular that have been running on this. You got Pam Bondi, you got Dan Bongino, and you got Kash Patel. These three people have, for months, said that everything is going to be exposed. They're going to release all of this to the public, and we're all going to know what kind of scumbags that these people actually are. And now they come out and say there's nothing to see here. Mm-hmm. I mean, even if that's true, the way they went about it is bullshit, in my opinion. Mm. If you tell me you're going to do something and you claim I have all this stuff on my desk and we're going through it page by page and video by video, and then all of this hype, and you say there's nothing, that's bullshit. I don't believe it for a second.
And they had that release of documents. Remember, they called it phase one. This is just phase one. They're handing out.
Right. And they actually invited a bunch of social media influencers, not dissimilar to us, into her office, and they gave them packets. And she specifically told them, and they all reported on it, that this is the first phase of this investigation. And to go from that to now, nothing.
Well, I'm reading one too that said that she didn't interview Pam Bondi. That is, she released a 2-page memo saying the department's review turned up no client list. That's
now. That's what set this all off.
But in February, she had said something about having the list on her desk.
Right. That's when she was interviewed.
Told Fox News in
Fox
February
News, I was going to say,
the
yes.
Epstein client list was sitting on my desk right now. Trump also repeatedly said he would release the Epstein files.
Now, and what pisses me off about Trump, and I get that he defends her because that's his administration. Yeah. But then he said it, like, I don't remember if it was a press conference or an interview. He goes, are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah. You're the one that brought it up.
Yeah,
your whole administration brought it up.
Now, if it gets brought up, he gets very angry.
Yeah, I don't understand that. How do you, this, and I'm not saying this is why we voted him in, but this was a big part of what they were saying, to be transparent in releasing all these documents as far as Epstein, as far as JFK, as far as Martin Luther King. And realistically, we haven't seen much of anything on those.
Now, here's one. This one is like a real, you're telling these people as an opportunist because they were a Trump ally, but they're saying this. So Florida State Representative Anthony Sabatini, who was among Trump's biggest supporters when in state legislature and was in attendance at the event, called Trump's Truth Social post out of touch. Trump is losing his touch, Sabatini said. Bad personnel are undermining him left and right, and we need a full reset.
I don't know if I go that far.
No, but
this is one issue.
A lot of people are calling for Pam Bondi's job.
And that's fine. And the way she handled it was abysmal. I've never seen someone flop.
Do you think she did that independently? When you're a cabinet head
I would
like
think
that,
no.
Yeah. So,
but I don't know. Like I said, we've been gaslit for so long about this topic, and now to tell us that there's so much other stuff going on that we shouldn't be concerned about it is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. And this is tough now because one of two things. I mean, number one, there could be absolutely nothing. Right. There could be all these files, and all there are like the child pornography and stuff. Right. No list of clients, no criminal charges that anybody could be brought up on them. Or, which people think, is that there is a list, there is all kinds of incriminating evidence, and nobody's going to put it out now because they're all afraid of being incriminated themselves.
The page that I'm on. Plus, I'm wondering if there's such powerful people on this list that they might fear for their lives.
Well,
that's possible too. But then, like I said, don't even bring it up.
And then, as part of this, to show that they were being fully transparent, they released the video of the night that he died.
Which you want to go into that, because I got a lot of problems.
And there's a minute missing in that.
There's a minute missing, but now this. Epstein was supposed
And
to
they're
be.
like, oh, it resets every day at that time. Why would it reset?
Are they using VHS still?
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life.
VHS.
And as far as he was on a suicide watch,
Yeah.
and you and I both worked in prison.
Yes.
When someone's on a suicide watch, they have an officer there 24/7. There's someone sitting right outside that door, and I don't know if it's the same federally, but I would assume it would be.
Well, I mean, they could
You
have
would
added
imagine
the
the standards
camera
would be
if
high or higher.
I would think so.
If he was on camera, though.
But he wasn't on camera, the cell door, and we don't even know.
Well, yes.
I heard that wasn't even the actual cell, his cell door. I heard that was the tier that he was on.
Oh.
But when someone's on a suicide watch, you have a staff member there 24/7. Someone sits there every shift, and they have a desk right in front of your door, and they watch you, making sure you don't kill
I
yourself.
log everything you do.
And you have a logbook every 15 minutes.
He's sitting down, he's standing up.
Yeah, he's looking out the window. You have to make a log of every single thing that person does. And for someone that's on a suicide watch to be able to actually do it is nearly, I don't want to say impossible because it can happen quickly, but is without, I don't know, revealing too much of what we had to do at work, but it would be very difficult for that person to kill themselves if they're on a suicide watch.
I don't want to belittle, but like, was that boring? Like,
Yeah.
you had to do
Oh,
that?
it was horrible.
Yeah,
That was,
it was a long day.
and if they said,
'Cause
if
you can't even like do stuff, right? You can't.
No,
you
well,
can't
if you
do anything.
needed to use the bathroom, you had to get a relief. Someone had to
Right.
sit there in your place while you went to the
But no,
bathroom.
I mean like you can't like occupy yourself the way you would if you were like doing like a normal watch.
Well,
you know,
no,
like, read a
because
book or
you're
something.
not supposed to do that at all.
Wow.
Even if you're even on a normal like drug watch or whatever, you still have to sit there without any type of anything and do this
Yeah, you're just basically
for
sitting
8
there
hours.
looking at them for
now,
8
if they had
hours.
come out and said this person was on a suicide watch, but the officer at the door fell asleep like on a midnight shift, I'd be like, I can see how that could happen. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
makes a lot more
And
sense
then you'd
because
have
it's
footage
so
of some
boring.
guy sitting there sleeping.
Exactly. So for us to have no footage and for the jail not even to, I don't even know if they reprimanded anybody at the facility for letting him kill himself. This blows my mind. And if there's no further charges pending and nobody else is involved, why is that? What's her, Ghislaine Maxwell? Why is she still in jail?
For what?
She got charged with like all this child.
She supposedly was helping him.
Yeah, but helping him do what? And for who?
Well, they know that he was doing child pornography.
Right, but as far as all the people that she drew in to have intercourse with these children, I cannot stand fucking pedophiles. I don't think a lot of us can, but they should be, as far as I'm concerned, they ruined these children's lives. They should be put to death. Sorry. There shouldn't be what's worse is they get a very minimal sentence compared to like, it used to be compared to drug charges. Someone with marijuana would get more time than a pedophile, which made no sense to me at all.
But it had changed in the state,
It has-
remember, because
yes.
they were saying you couldn't be released till you were cured.
When there's
so
no
if you're
cure.
not cured, they were never
There's no
getting
cure
out.
for those scumbags. They should
Isn't
be
there-
they should be put to death.
Isn't
then
there's a
they were
word for
staying-
that, right? Like involuntary something, incarceration, or like when they kept them after their
Oh,
sentence?
civil confinement. It used to be called civil confinement when they didn't complete or have an address to go to when they reached their max out time.
I thought it was it wasn't that they didn't have somewhere to go, but like it's like okay, well you did this thing, and even though you served your sentence, we still think you're a danger to society.
Yeah, I believe I believe
Yes.
civil confinement encompasses all that.
Okay.
But to say that he killed himself and we got nothing from that is nonsense. She's still in prison. No, and I think one of the charges she's in prison for is trafficking. So how are you in prison for that without clients?
That's true.
A lot of this I don't understand, and for them to downplay it the way they're doing right now infuriates people, myself included.
Oh yeah, this is big.
I don't understand why. If you're gonna come out and say there's nothing to see here, then you better sit on stage or at that booth for hours on end and let everybody ask every question they have 15, 20 times until they're exhausted about asking these questions and they feel they're comfortable with the answers you gave. Because as of right now, the way they're blowing it off makes it look even worse. And like I said, I don't criticize Trump, but this thing is him and his administration are doing right now is complete bullshit. And I'm not going to be like Democrats where they're going to think no matter what we do, we're not going to say anything negative about them. If I see something in the politician I support that I don't like, I'm going to say it.
And this is a tough one because I'm not prone to conspiracy theories. You know, I don't
Right.
really believe most of them. But this is something where I never felt this list would come, if there was a list, which
Right.
there might not be.
I didn't think it would come
never
out
felt
either.
like it would come out because it's not like only Democrats were going to be on that list.
Right. There's going to be all celebrities, other politicians.
So
And what gets me now is these
It's-
Democrats are all spouting off. They're like, oh, this is a huge. They're the ones that said it was bullshit and a conspiracy to begin with.
But this
so now
is
they're
their opening.
now they're gaslighting.
Politically, yes.
Yeah, but for people not to see that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Right.
They're all just, anything that they can use to hurt Trump, they're going to go with, even if they do or don't believe it.
Absolutely.
They're pathetic. But this whole situation right now is pathetic. And I really honestly hope they get their shit together. Because I heard there's a lot of rift between Bongino and Pam Bondi right now.
I'm
he
reading
was
the Bongino stuff right
supposedly
now.
was thinking of resigning, but this morning, or it might have been yesterday, that they talked to Trump. He said he didn't think, he thought he was going to be good.
I don't know. Just get your shit together. That's all I'm saying.
And
if there's nothing to see,
Bongino might want to get back to the gym, so
Bongino and Kash Patel, that's all they talked about for months prior to getting the positions that they're in now. That's all. I mean, when they were on the news, this is what they were talking about.
Which is why they're upset at Bondi for over.
But they also
Patel doesn't have anything to say now either.
Well, they also did an interview recently, and they both said yes, it was a suicide. And I'm thinking, this is you. What are you talking about? Show us the evidence. Don't show me some generic video missing a full minute. And I'm not saying you could do a lot in that minute, but you can do something. And then, I don't know. It just seems complete bullshit to me. And I know this country has a lot more things going on than this, but this is just one thing that people were expecting that you said you were going to do and you did not do.
But it's just funny because that video is supposed to be to prove that there's no manipulation going on, but there's a minute missing. That's crazy.
That's just every night it's like that. It's the change. No, it's not.
And like you said,
that's so stupid.
I don't know that it means anything, but that's just not a good look.
And it makes it worse with us coming from that environment, and we know how it is supposed to be done.
Yep.
So I don't know if Pam Bondi wants to come on, we can interview her, or Bongino or Kash Patel. Yeah. But as of right now, I'm really hoping something changes on this. As of right now, it looks really, really bad for them. I'm sorry. And I'm not going to jump on bandwagons like all these Democrats are doing. I'm going to hold people accountable for that I vote for, like we all should be doing, regardless of what your party is. Like I said, you put country first, and then you put your party. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whatever's best for the country. And having these scumbags pay for what they did to these kids is very important to me.
Absolutely.
They should be strung out, put their names out there. I don't care who they are, even if it's somebody we care about. I don't care. It doesn't matter. If you did something to these kids, you should pay. You should be punished for it severely.
Well, they're talking about having like an special investigator brought in.
A Democrat brought that up,
but I still don't know. Well, they were talking about that.
But they can't mandate it because they don't have authority in the House or the Senate at this point.
But I'm saying, even if he did do an investigation, would you believe him if he came out and said, you know what I mean? At this point,
right?
This is a fun one. Megyn Kelly at a conservative conference this weekend said something along the lines of, Pam Bondi was either telling the truth then or she's telling the truth now, but both cannot be true.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Mm-hmm. It's one or the other. I like Megyn Kelly. She's a good host.
And Pam Bondi might have been a little full of herself at the beginning, with
then,
it's right on my desk.
Say that.
But
say that. Listen, I got a little excited, but we found nothing, and here is why I say we found nothing. Here's everything I have, minus the child porn.
Every whatever deal book that Trump's ever said is you never admit you were wrong.
But you know what? I appreciate when people do admit they're wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Just like on this podcast when we admitted we were wrong about the spelling of weird that one time, or your. We forgot the apostrophe and the E at the end. So we fixed it. We admitted it and we fixed it. That's what you do. When you screw up, you fix it.
Shit happens when you party naked.
That's true.
AKA the Epstein list.
Oh, all right. That makes more sense. I thought you were doing some weird shit. We didn't know about it. But I really honestly hope that something fixes this, because it's a distraction and we don't need a distraction right now with everything else that's going on in the country. So I don't know where you guys want to end it, but I've expressed my opinions.
Well, it's funny though, because that's what Trump is saying.
I hope that,
and nobody's believing that. They want more than, you know what I'm saying?
Because you can't just say it, you got to prove it.
But what I'm saying is he's saying the same thing. There's a lot going on that we're trying to deal with right now. But people are not going to let this go. Just
absolutely not. You got to fix it.
Yeah. I hope that in the coming days they find the time, if that's their excuse for not like sharing the information, find the time and disseminate what makes sense to disseminate.
Right.
Everything
minus the child porn.
And that's one thing if you don't want to release a list because you've got ongoing investigations, because then you can say we can't talk about it because we have ongoing investigations.
But she said the investigation was over.
Right.
And that's what pissed everybody off.
Nobody's going to be charged at all.
Yep.
So get your shit together, administration.
Yes.
I know you guys are listening. All right. That's where we're going to end it right there.
On that note.
We did it. We got through it. I'm still upset, but we got through it. Thank you for watching Two Studs and a Dud. Please like, subscribe, and share this video.